My mom went missing 3 years ago. Today I found out the horrifying reason after my mom revealed that I was an accident and that I should have been aborted. I blocked her on everything and refused to speak to her. It wasn't until the police showed up at my house the next day that I realized how much I regretted arguing with her. Instead of going home that night, she disappeared into thin air. And of course I became a suspect in my mother's disappearance. An angry daughter gets into an argument, and her mom goes missing soon after. At first I assumed she just went into hiding to prove a point that I would miss her, so I did my best to stay positive. But as 4 months passed by, I slowly realized she wasn't hiding and that there was something much more sinister going on. After the detectives closed the case, I moved into my parents' house to take care of my dad. But after seeing how depressed he became from the disappearance, I knew I had to figure out what happened, and I had a horrible feeling that it might have been because of me. I was so wrong. I tried looking for her everywhere, but 3 years went by with no sign of her. But even thought life had been somewhat normal. I missed her more and more every single day. That's when the dreams started. They were small at first. I'd hear my mother's voice crying, or see her staring at me from down a flight of stairs while I was dreaming in my sleep. It was definitely creepy, but I brushed it off as my brain dealing with the trauma. But this one night the dream got super intense. I was sitting in my room when I heard a scratching sound coming from the basement door. Without thinking, I got up and went downstairs to check it out. The sound was slow and ominous. Despite how creepy it was, I opened the basement door. And on the other side of it was my mom, half decayed, and just frowning in rage. She grabbed me by the arm and threw me down the stairs, where I landed on my neck, breaking it with a hard crack. Before I woke up, my eyes landed on a clothes trunk sitting in the corner. I woke up covered in sweat, while grabbing my neck to make sure it was okay. Even though I knew it was just a dream, it still didn't sit right with. I promised myself to see a doctor, because the grief was getting unbearable. The next night, the dream got even more vivid. I tried to stay awake as long as possible, not wanting to see my mom in my dreams, but no one can stay awake forever, and I caved at about 3 a.m. The dream started with my mom sitting on my chest while I laid in my bed paralyzed. She stared down at me furiously, holding my phone in her right hand. Then with her left hand, she pried my mouth open, took the phone, and shoved it into my mouth. It went in horizontally, bending my teeth back into my throat. I felt them break off, falling into my throat as I choked violently on them. My blood filled my mouth, pouring out the sides of my cheek. My mother leaned in close, and in a deep demonic voice screamed, "Check your phone!" I woke up in tears and jumped out of bed, and I sighed in relief after realizing it was just a dream. Then I looked over at my phone, sitting quietly on the nightstand. I picked it up, opened the messenger app, and scrolled through my contact. That's when I reached my mom's name and just froze. I held my breath and slowly tapped unblock. Then a message came in instantly. "Diana, you have to come back, please. I got myself stuck in the clothes trunk in the basement. I can't get out." The date and time read July 17th, 2020, 4:45 p.m. A literal minute after I blocked her. It felt like time stopped. She couldn't still be in there, right? My dad had to have let her out, unless maybe that wasn't what she wanted. The only choice I had was to check. I turned on the basement light and started walking down. At the bottom, I turned away, covering my mouth to keep from puking. I couldn't help myself. I turned back around and stared at the corpse. There in her hands was her phone. Her last attempt at escaping and fixing what was broken between us was her phone. Be nice to your parents.